Hey guys, hello everyone. Welcome to the first episode of my brand new forensic science podcast for SCI 1301. So, I've never done this before. I'm gonna be honest, I've never done this before. I've never made a podcast before, but I like the idea of it. I think that it'd be a really cool way to express my thoughts, share my thoughts, and I like trying new things, and I hope that this is really beneficial for me in the end. So, just to be very clear, the style of the podcast, the way the podcast will be organized, I like to be very straightforward, and I just like to essentially just like ramble on. Yet, I'm not one to shy away from, I would say, flair or a little bit of pizzazz here and there, because I feel like that is me as a person, and I really want this podcast to be a way for me to showcase and for or not showcase rather, but for a glimpse of my very own personality to shine through. And I think that that is what makes each podcast unique. It's the personality of each podcaster, and I think that's what um, I believe that's what everyone brings to the table, just like something unique. Anyways, the purpose of this podcast, I aim to examine, elaborate, analyze the coming episodes. Or in the coming episodes, rather, I tend to I want to analyze, examine, and study, um, I guess like everything that would like come across in my path. For example, assignments or anything, or like what would be like what would we like what we would be studying. Sorry, through a whole different perspective. Because I don't know much about forensic science, unfortunately. I was never really into it, but I feel like through the class and through the podcast, because I'm really excited to learn, so I would say maybe through the podcast or through the class, I pick up a new interest or I learn something new, which is basically what I aim to take away, apart from passing grade, of course. um, okay, in terms of audience, the audience is everyone and anyone who wants to also learn about forensic science. If you don't have a foothold, or say, I guess, if you don't know where to start and you want to learn about forensic science, I think this podcast is really good for you because I don't know anything about forensic science, and it'd be really cool if people who join me can learn alongside with me, and yeah, let me pick up some new ideas, some new perspectives that I can bring fresh to the table. Um, and yes, I hope that all of us can learn together, and that that something is taken away from what we're talking about. So with that out of the way, I want to or rather like not like dedicate the episode, but to start it off with a short I guess bio of myself and who I am. So my name is Brian Lovano. I'm a student here at UTEP. It's going to be my third year, going in third year. I'm 20 years old, um, and I like to read. I guess that's a hobby of myself. um, but yes, I like to read. I also like to drive. I like driving. Um, it's like a really like good way to like clear your head and stuff like that. But in terms of science, I'm studying biological sciences. So maybe that can maybe influence the way that I speak about certain topics in this podcast and stuff like that. Um, but yes, like I said, I'm really excited to learn, and I hope that I can take away a lot of things from this class. And I want this podcast to, I want to use this podcast as a catalyst to showcase my thoughts. And yes, um, well, yes, I believe that might be it. Um, but as of now, goodness me. yes, believe that would be it. I want to thank everybody for coming, and I really hope that this podcast can evolve into something much more cohesive. It was the first episode, so I'm not really too prepared, but I hope the next episode can be much better in terms of focus and um, yes, because that's where it really starts. So I like that. Anyways, thank you so much for coming, and I hope you guys stick around for the next episode. And yes, thank you so much.